for a year. My 2023 takeaway, I want to just share this with y'all. My 2023 takeaway was, you won't always know all the answers, but God will always give you everything you need. You won't always know all the answers, but God will give you everything you need. You may not always understand the whys, but he will make plain to you his purpose for it after a while. He will make it plain to you about the purpose in it after a while, at his perfect timing, right? At his perfect timing. Being his wife does not always come in a pretty bow. It doesn't come wrapped up in a pretty bow, right? Sometimes you have to do the hard part. Sometimes you have to do the ugly. You have to endure some unjust things. I endured some unjust things with a group of men that, like I said, I won't be able to discuss it right now, but I endured some unjust things that really, really just made me look at men and certain businesses from a different perspective. And I was listening to this interview, and I'm kind of interjecting, with this young lady who I think it was Tim Ross and some other guys was interviewing her. I think her name was Priscilla or something like that. Oh my God. If y'all ever get the chance to go and like look at that video where she sat down and talked with, and just talked about, what she's teaching. This is why I go back to curriculum. She's basically teaching women a certain type of way when it comes down to men and how to, handle men, and, how, she doesn't encourage, men and women to live under one roof, and, how children should be raised, the girl should be raised by the mom, and the boys should be raised by their dads. And, she's talking about, the differences between men and women, and how the problems that we're having with so many men because we're trying to force them to be a certain way that they're not able to be. Oh my God. The interview was just like, whoever is taking in her content on a regular, because she spoke a lot of truth, but it wasn't the truth, right? She spoke a lot of truth. She said a lot of things that were true that's going on just in our world and our society, but it wasn't backed up with the truth of God, and so that's why I just always say you got to be so careful who you are taking information from, who you are listening to, who you are, allowing to have your ear, because you can mess around and listen to something like that, and a person who's like, a newbie out here, or fresh, or and had a bad experience with a man, or have experienced something bad and don't know the word of God, can be deceived, following some of her teachings. And so, listen, we're going to endure some of the ugly, right? We're going to endure some of the ugly. You're going to endure some unjust things. You're going to have to learn how to steward yourself well. Okay, you have to learn how to forgive others and forgive yourself, right? Forgive others and forgive yourself. You have to learn how to move on. You have to not worry. You can't blame everyone. You can't play the blame game. Don't play, the victim. Don't play, point if it's everybody else's fault. You got to get away from that kind of stuff. You have to give yourself grace on this journey, right? You have to expect others not to understand. Expect individuals to question your motives, like, well, why you did that? Well, why you did that, you have to expect, other people to question your motives, expect people to, be people, like let people be people. And then understand that we are in this imperfect world. We are imperfect people. We are, at the end of the day, we are humans. And a lot of times I don't think people give themselves enough grace for being humans. But it's like, don't use you being a human as an excuse of staying in the same place. Don't use you as, you being a human as staying in the same place and not moving to the next thing. You have to know that with God, nothing is impossible. Absolutely nothing is impossible. Expect him to make it all better in his perfect timing. God said, I'm not calling you to be perfect. It's not going to be wrapped up in this pretty little bow. Everything is, I sent my son Jesus as a gift to the world. And he did not come wrapped up in this pretty bow. So I am definitely not expecting you to be wrapped up in this pretty bow. But there are certain things that you do need to prioritize. There are certain things I am calling you to. There are certain things that you need to be doing in this season concerning your life and concerning the places where I'm trying to take you next. Wives got to get to a place where they're allowing God to be their shepherd on this journey. God said, I want to be your shepherd. I want to be your shepherd. They have to get to a place where they're prioritizing their well-being, because let me tell you something. The enemy is coming to kill, steal, and destroy, wives. This is what he's coming to do. He's coming to kill, steal, and destroy. He does not like you. And because he does not like you, the first place he's going to is your mind, is your heart. Okay, he's going after your mind, he's going after your heart, and then eventually he want to push you, with your will. So he is going after that soul. It's important that wives get to a place where they are prioritizing that. And I say again, if you don't have no type of curriculum, if you don't have no kind of substance of how you live in your life, if you don't have no kind of order. So many people think, okay, we're gonna do it's vision board season. Like everybody doing vision board. Hey, I'm here for it. All right, I'm all here for the vision board season. But at the same time, it's like, okay, after you do your vision board, then what's next? What is it that you're trying to do with your life? Who do you need to connect with in this hour? Who do you need to come up underneath? Who do you need to let guide and lead you? Who do you need to allow to get you to that healthy place? What is it that God is calling you to? What have God been talking to you about? What have God been saying to you? What have God been tapping your shoulder and say, hey, you haven't forgot what I had told you, right? What is it that you're at a place where you know that, okay, I'm still here because I haven't did that next thing. God has said, I need you to go to that next place. Let me be your shepherd. Prioritize your well-being. And stop thinking that everything has to be perfect. It does not have to be perfect. But you do need to be going and moving to a forward place where you're not just like, oh, well, I got time. Or, oh, well, we'll do it next time. It's like, no. Stop making these excuses. Life is too short for that. God is saying it's time to move. We are doing some new things in this upcoming year, and I need wives to be in place. And it's not just about your husband. Your husband, whatever in this 2023 year, whatever is going on with your husband, and God had not dealt with it, trust and believe he is on the way. Okay? Whatever he had not dealt with it, but it is not your job, wife. It is not your job to sit there and manage that. It is not your job, wife, to sit there and just be standing over that. It is not your job to be watching over that man. Oh, he ain't changed yet. Oh, he ain't moved yet. God is not calling you to do that. Like I say, I always encourage wives, whether he's in the home or outside the home, lift him up, cover him, because you may be the only person that's lifting him up to Jesus. You may be the only voice that heaven hears on his behalf. You may be that only voice. Lord, I just lift him up to you. I just cover him with your son, Jesus' precious blood. Lord, I just pray that you cover him with your son, Jesus' precious blood. Lord, I pray that you go before him and you order the steps of his day. Cover your husband. There's nothing wrong with you covering your husband, but do not stay in that place. Get your mind off of the marital restoration part. That part is going to come as God leads you. What you got to focus on going into this new year, God, how do you want to use me for your kingdom? How do you want to use my gifts? How do you want to use my talents? How do you want to use the things that you have already installed in me to help other people? How do you want to, use me for your glory? I had one of the ladies from my church had come like, hey, we're just calling to see if you're going to move forward with us in the new year with your small group. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to move forward. They probably like, we got to make sure we're trying to get our list together, right? How can God use you in the new 2024 year? Those are the things you want to work on. And like I said, wives, if you are ready and you are in a season where you are saying, I'm ready to do my work, I'm ready to get to that next place. It was another thing on here I was trying to talk about. I wanted to mention to y'all. It was 3 things that I wanted you to get. What should you be doing in between time? What you should be doing in between time? Watching, prepping, and developing. Watching, prepping, and developing. Watching. Stay sober and alert. Stay sober and alert, okay? You have to be on guard out here because we live in a broken world, because we are dealing with unseen forces and a lot of unseen activities, a lot of spiritual warfare that's taking place that we don't even see. You have to watch and stay alert, okay? 2, prep. Remain a student. I tell you that all the time. Remain a student. Whatever area that God has you in, whatever God has have you working on, or God has you, he has you, in transmission with at that time, whatever it is, you need to be working on those things. Whatever God, if he got you studying the gifts of the Spirit, if he got you studying, a specific, Bible chapter, if he got you reading a specific book, if he have you, listen to a specific, business, mentor, if he got you, studying, real estate, like so many different things that people are supposed to be doing, prepping, remain a student, right? And then lastly, develop. Keep doing your work and learning more about yourself and where God is calling you to. God does not have you on this journey only only for your marriage. He does not have you on this journey only for your husband. He doesn't have you on this journey only for what you can benefit from out of, this marital restoration thing. That is not the reason why he's calling you to this. Wives need to get into a place where they are underneath certain kind of curriculum and they are allowing God to shepherd their life, right? They're allowing God to shepherd their life. Listen, I'm looking forward in the 2024 year for wives to come to a place where they're ready to bounce back, when they're ready to recover themselves, when they're ready to say, you know what, I'm ready to invest in my well-being. I'm ready to invest in myself. I'm ready to invest in the things that God has called me to. Because without that, you are taking a risk of being in the same place. You're taking a risk of staying in that same place. This is the season for you to invest in yourself. Prioritize your well-being, because the enemy is big mad and he is coming for your soul. He is coming for your soul. He is coming for your soul. You have to learn how to manage you. You have to know how to take care of you. Her bonus boots is not about your marriage. And I tell wives that all the time. It's not about your marriage. Her bonus boost is about recovering the wife. Her bonus boost is helping the wife to get to a better place on her journey. Her bonus boost is helping the wife to discover where she is on her journey and helping her discover who she is and what it is that she needs to do. Her bonus boost is not about, we're going to sit around and just have these sobs. So if you want to do that, if you want to talk about your husband, then we can sign you up for the mental and emotional detox. That's what those sessions are for. But her bonus boost is about that wife saying, I'm ready to get healthy for me. I'm ready to recover me. I'm ready to focus on my well-being. I'm ready to go to the places that God wants to take me. I'm ready to go to that next place on my journey. I'm ready to start using my gifts and talents. I'm ready to pursue entrepreneurship. I'm ready to pursue leadership. I'm ready to pursue, my whatever my ministry calling is. I'm ready to pursue those things. I'm ready to, start healing and helping others in certain areas. That's where her bonus boost is for. Her bonus boost is a curriculum that helps wives. It's a self-development, self-care curriculum to help wives to get better and healthier for themselves, so that they would be a representative for the kingdom. You're not able to be his wife, the bride of Christ, without first taking care of yourself. God's not asking you to be wrapped up in a bow. He's not asking you to be wrapped up in a bow to come to him. All he's saying is, allow me to be your shepherd, and I need you to prioritize your well-being. Allow me to be your shepherd and prioritize your well-being. So wives, if you are in a season where you are saying, I'm ready, Coach C, I'm ready for the next step, I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to sign up. If you need to sign up for a consultation first so you can get some, insight and ask more questions and see where you are. Yes, the consultation is the first step. The consultation is the first step. But if you've already seen me, you already know, like I'm ready to go to that next step, I want to encourage you to sign up for her bonus boost. You can do these things at www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. Let me see. What she spoke on is called deception, when the truth is mixed with lies and pain. Yes. Oh, you did. So did you hear that interview? She was doing a lot. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. You saw the interview. Yeah. She was doing a lot. I feel sorry for people who are listening to that kind of content and not having God's truth, because she could literally pull people in a direction where it can take them all off track. This is why I'm just like, be careful who you inhale your content from. Be careful who you allow to speak to you. Be careful who you allow, to give your ears. It was very uncomfortable listening to some of the stuff that she was saying, but I wanted to hear the whole thing because I listened to Tim Ross, and he was talking about it. So I wanted to hear the whole interview. But oh my God, baby, she's not making, disciples of Christ. That's for sure. She's making disciples of something else. It was painful to watch. However, I appreciate how Tim showed. And yes, he was he stood on Jesus. I love that about him. He stood on the cross. He stood on Jesus. Like, he did not waver. He did not, combat with her about what her beliefs was. He was a gentleman the whole entire time. He stood on the cross. He stood on the word. And listen, that's what we about over here. We stand on the cross over here. I'm trying to make wife disciples. If you are not trying to better your life and get to a better place on your journey, you might not need to be following Coach T, because I'm trying to help you to be better, not just for your husband, not just for your marriage. That's a portion. That's a part of it. Yes, you need to be in a right place when that man comes home. You need to be able to know how to deal with that man when you are in the home with him and he's not doing the right thing. But you got to make sure you're taking care of yourself, because the enemy is trying to take people out. He is trying to take them out by their mental health, their emotional health, their physical health. He's using those things to take you out. And then eventually all those things get messed up. Those things get messed up. You're not in a good place. You're not able to be used like you need to be used by God. You're not able to. You're not good for nobody. Your husband, your children. You're not good for nobody. You're not good for nobody. So going into the 2024 year, what is my goal? I'm trying to make wife disciples. I want wives to recover themselves. I want them to get to a place where they're tired of talking about their husbands and they're saying, you know what? There's nothing I can do about him. I want to now pursue the things that God is calling me to. I want to help you to prosper and push through and pursue in that area. All right. You can sign up, wife. You can sign up www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. I still do have my clarity mini talk training available for the wives who saying I still need some clarity. You can sign up for that and you can get the clarity. Consultations are available, or like I said, if you are in a place where you are still dealing with some negative emotions, I have a menu of different options that you can choose from. Where I can walk with you. We do that mental and emotional detox for 30 days. That's a mental and emotional detox. Well, you need to talk about your emotions. You need to talk about your husband. You need to talk about that grief. You need to talk about that pain. That's available for you, right? That's available for you. And then I have to check in because they're not in a place where they can talk. They're not in a place where they can necessarily do the harmonious boost, because the harmonious boost is an investment. It's an investment. But the goal is to eventually get them to that place. The goal is to help them to get to that place. Start making decisions. Y'all know after Christmas, y'all done spend all your money. Because I'm not doing it. Y'all done spend all y'all money on this Christmas holiday. Tax season is right around the corner. Put your money to the side. Put your coins to the side. Invest in your well-being. Invest in someone that you can trust. Invest into someone that I get down with her teaching, or I get down with her content, or I know she can help me in this area. Or I know she can show me the ropes to this. Invest into that type of curriculum for yourself. I feel like everybody needs a curriculum in life just to do well in life. My pastor always tells us people do so much better when others are watching. People do so much better in life when others are watching. And when you know you have that accountability and somebody holding you accountable to what you said, listen. My wife coach just sent me a text message on yesterday. She's like, "Did you get your husband a gift?" I'm like, okay. But she holds me accountable, right? She still holds me accountable. And so it's nothing like having somebody to hold you accountable on this journey, because the enemy is not going to stop doing his job. It's imperative that you continue to do yours. All right. Sign up today, wives. www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. Listen, y'all have a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.